relationships and threesomes with women and men, my spin on it is, why is it acceptable for a man to sleep with two women, but if a woman want to sleep with two men in the same session, is frowned on? We're called names like hoes and thots and whores and she for everybody. And but if a man sleeps with two women, he gets all the props in the world. Like everybody's looking at him like he's the man. What's the issue with that?
Well, my deal on it is, I feel like we should be just all treated equally.
Exactly.
If you ask me, tell me what's really wrong with the fact that you want to have a threesome with two guys. Like, what's the problem? Like, I don't get the problem. And then it's like, oh, when you tell a guy, listen, I'm about to bring a girl in the room, they with it. Bout it, Master P all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then you be like, well, babe, I want another guy. What? Like,
I ain't watching my girl get fucked by another nigga.
I don't want to see his balls.
No,
well, why are you looking at his balls like, anyway?
Y'all ain't gotta look at each other. You can get dressed and he can come in. Y'all can take turns, okay? Like, y'all do not have to. Who said y'all gotta be in the same room? I just want it both for the same night. Like, what's the problem?
No, I want it all together. Like, I want a sandwich.
Yeah, sandwiches. It sounds interesting.
You know, some people want their sandwiches without the cheese. I want my cheese with my sandwich.
I want my buns on both ends. I want to be the cheese.
Okay. If that floats your boat. But no, like, I really feel like society designed it to look that way when it shouldn't look that way. I mean, if you are born in this world, you're taught to do this, and that. So these are one of the things that we're taught, like, women are supposed to be this way and guys are supposed to be that way. No, it don't work like that. I feel like if a guy can do it, we can do it too.
Exactly.
Period.
It looked like, and my thing is, you see a lot of these polyamorous relationships now with two girls and a guy. Like, that's the trend now. Like, you're seeing a lot of relationships like that. They even had a show, Sister Wives. It's 5 women and 1 man. Why can't we have brother husbands? Why can't we have 6 guys and 1 woman? Like,
wait,
what's the problem?
You kind of fucked me up when you said brother or something.
Brother husbands. They got sister wives. Why we can't have brother husbands?
I mean, that is true.
Like, why?
That's true.
Why isn't it okay for a woman to have numerous men? Like, it's not that, okay, yeah, she can be looked at as promiscuous, but okay, why can't the man be looked at as promiscuous? When he's sleeping with more than 1 woman, and I'm going to take it even further. When guys have plenty of women, they ain't even got to know about each other. Niggas all giving them that, right? They all look like, okay, you the man, because you got all these females coming after you and everything. Like, he got like 20 bitches over here. But if I have 20 niggas, she a hoe.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to understand, like, why is it okay? Like, why has it always been that way? Why are we labeling each other instead of just living? Like, if that's how you want to live, then live how you want to live. I mean, when we were younger, if girls wore shorts and short or brown stuff, they were hoes, or ew, that's not how you're supposed to dress, because that's how we was programmed to think. Like,
yeah, but if a man come outside with his shirt on, that ain't looked upon.
It's definitely not looked upon.
If anything, women in general, you're like, damn, look at him.
I mean, that's because somebody in somewhere made a rule book of how women should act, if you ask me. But if you ask me, well, where was the rule book saying that it's not okay to be... If we supposed to be acting according to a certain way, then why is it acceptable for us to be gay?
Yeah, exactly.
But not acceptable for men to be gay.
Right. I think that we should just all hold each other to a certain standard. Like, I saw a post on Facebook the other day where they said if it's legal for two men and two women to get married, why is it illegal for two women and a man to get married? So my ass said, well, why is it illegal for a woman and two men to get married?
I mean, that's a good question. Why can't three people be married at the same time?
Yeah. Maybe I want two husbands. When this husband is tired, he's not doing his job, I need the other one to knock me off and do what I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, we all just gonna be one big happy family.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta get it where you fit.
Let's accept each other. Let's live
as a whole.
As a whole. Let's even take it up one notch.
And then you got some men that will move their baby moms in a house with their main girl and be doing all type of kinky, crazy shit. But then, if I don't understand, but if you move your baby dad in your house with your husband, oh, they all, like, it's just like a disgrace or it's disgusting or something. I don't know. Like,
I think the problem is men have too much testosterone. Did I say that word right? Testosterone.
Pride.
They have too much hormones in them, and they want to clash at each other all the time. No, I'm top dog. I'm the top dog. So when you put two dogs together, alpha personalities, they're going to clash. They're going to go back.
Yeah, but they're not as bad as we are as women. Like, I mean, they do.
They hide it better.
Yeah, they hide it. I would say that. But I would say we show our emotions more. But if that's the case, then it should be a bad combination to have two women in a room with one guy. Because we're, emotionally unstable.
And eventually those two women are going to clash anyway. Like, I haven't, myself personally, I have not seen a relationship with two women and a man work out. Me personally trying to have a girlfriend in my relationship, I had my girlfriend and my nigga about to fight before. So,
yeah,
you know, they was meeting each other at the bar every day. Like, niggas, you out here for my girl, you better not be out here for her. And I'm like, well, y'all accepted it at first, and now everybody want to fight. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah, because people get too emotionally attached. And if you're not strong, I'm just going to say, relationships like that is not for everybody. I mean, if that's your preference, that's your preference. But everybody's not strong enough to be in a threesome or a foursome or a fivesome. People are not built for that.
Niggas, I'm just saying, one day I might want two niggas in a row. I'm just throwing some different shit out there. Like, listen, babe, tonight Tyrone's coming over. And how you feel about that?
Well, if Tyrone's coming over, let me know how they worked out for you. When you do it first, and you let me know how it work out, and then I'll figure it out later. Like, y'all trying to be all serious. Ain't nobody serious. Listen, Linda, listen. This is just like we're trying to figure out why we always get labels and men don't. Like, why are men, like, how do you put it? Like, why is it always a congratulations or a celebration when a man does something, but when a female does it, it's like they get like, all right, you're a disgrace. You need to get away. We're disowning you. Yada yada yada. You know, some people can't control their pussy. You know what I'm saying? Some people got a loose verb down there, and when they can't purr, they want to go. I mean,
I know a lot of people like that.
You know, like, you can't, like, we can't keep judging people based upon what they want to do with their own bodies or their life, period. Like, especially when it comes down to females. Because we always underestimated. Us women, we're always down. They always put us down and say we can't do this or we can't do this or this is not for us. But we can do everything a man can do and probably better.
Exactly. Anytime we can push a baby out our ass, we can do some shit. Okay.
Yeah, and go through that ring of fire, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Anytime a baby light a match to your vagina, I can take on the world.
We do some amazing shit.
I mean, yeah. I feel like without us, niggas would sink, they would drown, and they would commit suicide.
Yeah, if it was no more pussy on the planet, period. everybody would die.
Yeah.
The same day that all the pussy disappears.
Or they would just turn gay.
I think they will all kill each other. Honestly.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, something going to happen, but I feel like I watched a few, like, Chirac and Trina also got a movie out. Is something Miami. And basically both movies do the same shit, basically. All the girls stop giving up pussy to stop the violence, hoping that if we stop giving them fur, then they will stop fighting and killing each other. I mean, it works, but it's always them hoes.
Always the hoes.
That they fur purrs. So we can't always win those battles. But I'm just tired of these stereotypes. Like, you can't do this and you can't do that, and this is not a man's world.
And my thing is, we gonna have these stereotypes. We gotta uphold everybody to these standards. You know, if it's a standard for a woman to act a certain type of way, and accordingly, it should be a standard for a man as well to act a certain type of way and be accordingly as well.
Well, I also wanted you to talk about when you was telling me about how the queens in Egypt had husbands.
Amazonian women, you know, they were promiscuous women. They were dominant. You know, they had men. That's not talked about though. That the light is not shed on that. It's not shed on how things were ran a certain type of way centuries ago, and women were basically the dominant one in a relationship. That's buried. You'll never find information about that. But you can see it in certain books. You know, they have little bits and pieces of information, but any type of power that a woman had was removed from the Bible. It was removed from books, everything. Now we're set to look at as second class in a relationship.
Basically like slaves.
Yeah, it's basically like my man has ownership over me. Now he owns me, and I have to follow his lead.
That's how marriages was back then. Like, if you marry a man, now that man controls your life. But it's not like that today, because don't nobody control me.
Ain't nobody controlling me.
I mean, it's a ring on this finger, but but back then, that's how it was. And if you disobey your husband, like in certain countries to this day, women get beat for disobeying their husbands, you know.
I would kill my husband if he even thought it. If I thought the thought was on his brain, he'd be dead.
You know, I can remember a long time ago, it was this guy from around my way. He was on the trolley, and somebody brought up, oh yeah, you Muslim, so you allowed to beat your wife? He was like, yeah, but it's how you beat them. You have to like pop them lightly or something like that. If they like disobedient or something, like you pop them or something. It was something weird. And everybody was like, what? Like, pop who? Like, everybody started flipping out of Charlie, like, you ain't popping. Like, I know I even turned my nose up, like, pop what? We gonna be popping each other back and forth. Like, but that's how it is. I mean, different religions believe in disciplining the wife.
I just think that stereotype needs to be let go.
Yeah.
Let us be free and wave our freedom flag. If she want to go and fuck 1,000 niggas, then let her do that. Don't judge her for doing it. If she wants to bring Tom, John, and Harry in the
Dick
on at the same time, and Dick, then let her do that. Don't judge her. You know, because you ain't going to judge the nigga.
Now, I feel like if you don't work with her, she just going to go out there and find a way to get it one way or the other. Because that's how we females are anyway. Like, we're sneaky. We're like cats. We tiptoe in and we tiptoe out. That's what we do.
And this is not to say that either one of us want this to actually happen.
Yeah.
We're just talking about, like, the things that are not talked about and the light that's not shed on these situations. And we are wondering, why is it acceptable one way and not the other?
Yeah, the whole purpose of us doing this is to be the voice for the people and answer questions that I know some of y'all girls or guys want to know because y'all just afraid that people going to judge y'all. Well, guess what? We're not judging.
We don't give a fuck.
Nope, not at all.
No fuck.
I mean, I ain't getting married for none. I'm just saying, but, I just feel like it should just be equal opportunities for everybody. I mean, if she want to suck 2 dicks at one time, God be with her on her journey.
Cheer your woman on.
Yes, 2 at the same time. 2. Maybe 3.
If she can do 2 or 3 at the same time, she's a keeper.
Yeah.
Like,
You should wife her. You should wife her.
We trying to change the game for real.
Yes.
Ain't
no such thing as a hoe. That word is overrated. She is, what is she? She is a working woman. That is considered a job. Period. Being a hoe is a job.
Yeah, it is.
That's it. It's a job. I mean, you can put that on your resume. It's volunteer work if you don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I'm
A
saying?
lot of customer service
Skills.
You're
Yep. You're good with people.
Yep. I know how to handle large groups at one time.
Very independent. Always on time. Well, it works well with everyone.
I always know how to get down to the resolution of things and make things come to a conclusion in ahead of the situation.
And you can finish your work on time. That means you work pretty fast. They might like, these people is crazy. No, but we keeping it 100, all the way to the 100. So I want to also talk about the baby mama and baby daddy in the family time. Is it acceptable? Is it acceptable?
I think I'm going to cut my live off here. If y'all want to view the rest of this, subscribe to our podcast. Or what's the other one they can get on? Or
Tune in.
Google Music, TuneIn, or Stitcher.
Yep. Well, I'm going to leave my live on, honey, because this might be good.
Don't leave it on for the whole thing, though.
Oh, no. I'm about to cut it off. But, so, you want me to go first, or you going to go first? Okay. Because my whole thing is, hell no. I'm sorry. But, I don't think that it's nothing wrong with baby moms and baby dads getting together and being about the kid. If that's what it's about. If your intentions is good, then it's not an issue. But then when you trying to go to Disneyland with a nigga, picnic, skip down a walk path.
Bonfires.
You just can't do those type of things. Those type of things I feel like is not acceptable.
And we're talking about not acceptable when you're in a relationship, right? Because if you're single, that's one thing.
Then that's your choice.
But then you also have to understand what you're causing behind that. Like, if you're single and you make the commitment that y'all are never going to be back together, and you're, cool with the fact that y'all haven't worked out as a family, I think that there's lines you need to draw. One thing to spend time with your kids. Is a whole nother thing to lay up in your baby mom bed. Y'all spending the nights together and
with your wife beater on.
Yeah. I mean, inviting baby dad out to
But I also
Tuesdays or Fridays, talking about you want to come to dinner. No,
it's not happening. Not in this life. But let me be on a serious note. It really don't matter if you is single or you in a relationship. If you give your baby mother the wrong signals, you bringing her back into something that you don't want.
Exactly.
So you have to be really specific on what y'all doing and make sure that she understands that this is strictly about the kid and the kid only. Because if you be like, oh, remember when we used to do this? Man, don't start going down memory lane, because that gives signals too. Like, what, you missed this? Mm-hmm. Oh, I know you want this.
Back in my single, not giving a fuck days, I'm going to be honest. Me and my baby dad, we did everything together. I mean, everything. Like, everything. Like, we did each other.
I don't care.
Everything. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that type of situation, it's hard to let those things go and say it's no longer going to be this physical part with me and you. You know, I'm sleeping in his bed, he's sleeping in my bed, he come down, visit me, he stay the night, bring all the kids, they in one room, we in another room, we all sleeping together. Or if the kids in the bed, we all sleeping together. Later on, we might dip off and do something together.
I mean, if you're around them long enough,
and that's a pattern that's continuing over and over again.
I just also, it's a two-way street, because some men, I'm not going to say every man or every boy man, but some men want to feel like they still have that power. Like, I can fuck her whenever I want. I can do this because I'm the man. Then, on the other note, it's more like the woman is more like, oh, he got a new bitch. Oh, I got to show this bitch I'm still irrelevant. Exactly. You know, I got to let this bitch know that I matter. But all this time that we spend trying to make ourselves matter, what about the child?
Exactly.
Did we lose focus of the kid because we're out here acting cray-cray because we giving each other mixed signals? Mm-hmm. I'm saying, like, I trust my husband I trust him, but I don't trust her. So it's a difference. But he has to entertain that. Right. You know what I'm saying? So the ball is actually in his court. His loyalty is with me, not she don't have no loyalty with me. He do. So that's how you gotta look at it too. Like, you know, I don't have to sit out here and be like, yeah, well, like, I don't have to broadcast anything because I know my place.
Right.
And I know that he's loyal to me and he'll make the right decisions, hopefully. But, you know, sometimes we are put in situations where we got to make positive choices.
So what is when is, what I'm trying to word this right, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable when it comes to, oh, this is just the mother of my child, or this is just the father of my child, and doing things together with your child? What is an acceptable, okay, this is fine, and then you drawing the line, you about to get cut type of thing? Like, what would you label as being acceptable and unacceptable with a relationship with a mother and a father and their child?
When you can't come back and tell me what y'all did. Like, if y'all went somewhere and you feel like you got to hide that, then I guess it's unacceptable. But, like, I mean, doctor's appointments, school, activity that got something to do with the child is acceptable. Like, because you're not going to stand in the way of a man trying to be there and support his child, because it would be wrong for you, you know? Exactly. And no matter how petty the other woman may be, you still have to put on your big girl drawers and be like, listen, it don't matter what you're saying. He's still going to do what he need to do for his child, period.
And like, what's unacceptable? Because all those things are already understood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should never, as a woman, put yourself in a place where you make your man choose you over his children.
Yeah, if you get to that place.
If you feel like you have to do that, you don't need to be with a man with kids, period. Yeah. You need to find yourself somebody with no children, no other obligations, so you could be the only
and believe it or not, it's a lot of women out here that love deadbeat niggas. Like, they everything.
Yeah.
And
like, if a man, to me, the sexiest thing in the world is a man who loves his children and who would put his children first. You know, because that says...
that's a turn on for me.
Yeah, that says, okay, he's responsible. Mm-hmm. He's taking care of his job. He didn't just have a baby and drop this baby off and say, okay, you the mother, you deal with it. You pushed it out. He's saying, no, I'm going to be here for mine. I'm gonna handle my business and do everything.
I respect a man that puts up a fight. Exactly. Because we women sometimes can be very petty, very immature, very just all over the place because we don't know how to control our emotions. And sometimes we think with our vaginas and not up here. You know, we start letting these two talk with each other. Mm-hmm. And then now we all over the place. So if a man is saying, you know what, I don't care what you saying, give me my child. I want to be there. He keeps fighting and fighting and fighting. That's like, he's everything to me. Like, I feel like, Superman. Yeah, like, I feel like he's never going to let his child down or never going to make it any more but about his child. Mm-hmm. I mean, but some people feel like they're caught in situations where they got to have sex with their baby mom or she got to have sex with her baby dad in order to get this and get that and do this and do that. Like, we should never feel like we have to do anything we don't want to do for anybody to take care of anything. Like,
and I can't lie, I've been in that situation before too, where I felt like I had to. We weren't cordial unless we were sleeping together. Like, it was like, if I don't give up the buns, then he's not going to be around, basically. And it shouldn't even be like that. Like, it would be like I would get the cold shoulder. And I can be honest and woman enough to sit here and say that that's how I actually felt. It may not have been that way in his mind. Maybe he wasn't thinking that way. But it was a point where it actually was that way for me. Like, where I saw more results when I was actually being physical with this man versus when I wasn't.
But how long did it take you to realize that, hey, I got to, like, put my kids first? Like, I got to make this strictly about my children.
It took me a long time. Honestly, it took me years to understand that, okay, there's a difference between, you know, just sleeping with my baby dad, being with my baby dad, and then my relationship with my kids.